Rats.
Rats.
This movie may have inspired my lifelong fear of rats.
It's one of my favorite horror movies. If you could call it horror, it's probably more of a thriller.
It's got horror, thriller, and a little bit of dark comedy.
Start over! I'm almost done!
This is a remake, and I didn't even realize it was a remake when I first saw it. We'll talk about the original too. The original is very good, but we're here to talk about the Willard remake, starring Crispin Glover, and it is Crispin Glover. Whenever I see Crispin Glover, I think Willard. This is a movie for him. He's the star of the show. It's a character study.
Very in-depth, almost literary character study in some ways. You go deep into this dude's mind, and sometimes I'm really not sure we wanted to go there.
Help! Help!
The movie is besides just the rats, the movie is disgusting. It's really in your face a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's really gothic, Hitchcockian, but like more gross.
It does seem like a Hitchcock movie. Yeah, the tone, it's very dark. It's very serious. It takes a really wacky premise,
yes,
and it takes it seriously.
There are a lot of goofy moments that they kind of slip in here and there, but they don't affect the overall tone at all. It knows what it is, which I respect. This movie not going to get an award, and it's not going to be viewed as a classic movie of this kind, but it knows what it is.
You're a slimy, pukey piece of shit. You wouldn't make a pimple on my grandmother's tooth.
There are at least two rats. There are two rats that are fleshed out characters. They have personalities. Even if it's Willard kind of projecting a personality on them, you got Socrates.
Smart, caring, nice.
And you got this big ass, I guess the real villain of the movie is Ben.
Big Ben.
Cat-sized. I think I read somewhere that it's not a rat in the same way that the rest of them are. It's a different species. I don't even think they're in North America. Thank God.
He's horrific.
Ben.
Sneaky fucker, too.
Yep.
Gets anywhere he wants, and that really grinds Willard's gears.
Yeah,
Power struggle.
All the other rats are very obedient.
Yeah.
They do what he says. Ben is the little fucker, the big fucker that just wants to do his own thing, and it comes around in a big bad way. The finale of this movie. We're not gonna talk about spoilers, I guess, but it ramps the hell up.
I hate you! I love Socrates, but I hate you!
But him as a character, you just want him to step the hell up, and eventually he finds that, but it's kind of weird how it happens.
Well, back to Hitchcock, it gives me Psycho vibes, too. The mother and Norman Bates. Oh, so his dad, you see a portrait of his dad that he looks at? That's the original Willard.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but... Now, the original Willard is very good, too. Different. He's much younger. I think he's, in his early 20s in the movie. Great, too, but in a very different way.
I'm gonna have a big surprise tomorrow.
Let's talk about the other villain, Arlie Ermy.
We went full Metal Jacket on this one.
One of the best parts of the movie is Arlie Ermy.
Over the top, but he needed to be.
Oh, he's a piece of shit. Very similar to the original Willard, the character in the original Willard.
You hold up my sales department or even my shipping department one more time. Shut up, Willard!
I was shocked by how similar the movies are. It's almost scene for scene, but it's the tone that's different. But it is a remake in every way.
I could definitely see why they would keep the type of antagonist for the boss, the misogynistic, intimidating, unnecessarily aggressive, almost comically aggressive sometimes.
There's one thing that you will never understand, Willard. Business is a rat race. Promise or no promise. I will not allow myself to be devoured by all of those other rats because of you.
There's a relationship that goes beyond just him being the boss. I think he was friends of the family before, so you're kind of thrown into this situation that reveals itself over time. How he wants to buy the house. He wants to steal the house, basically. But Willard is so attached to the house, not that it's the family house, but that what is he gonna do with all these rats?
Those rats aren't going to a studio apartment. That's not gonna work.
You can't get a U-Haul for a bunch of rats. Well, it's like there's a secret that he has that's so big and embarrassing and weird. It's like, yeah, it's almost like starts as a kind of a hobby. And then it goes into some what's the M word that's above mischievous?
Mischievous, maniacal?
No.
No. Malevolent?
No. There's another one. Whatever. But he uses the rats to I guess take revenge on the which. That's where the horror kind of comes in. There's a violent movie for PG-13.
Yes,
it's a violent movie.
They get around the R rating by basically making almost all of the violence exclusively rat-inflicted. Like, yeah, that's just kind of what they did. And we talked about it. Does make sense. His character, right? He had to bust out. He had to really let that anger loose, and he lets it loose with the boys, the rats.
Yeah. One thing that's great is they use real. I mean, there's some parts that are CG, obviously, but I want to say like 90% of it, those are real rats.
Big shout out to the rat actors and the crew who handled all those rats.
Because there's a team of rat trainers, and I always wondered what did they do. They must have like got the call that they're gonna do a movie about rats, and it must have been like, boys, you're gonna shit yourselves. We got a job. We finally got a gig.
They like dust off everything they have.
We haven't had a gig since the original Willard.
It's funny how one of the rats, Socrates, really does fulfill a lot of emotional void that he has within him. Which was at one time it was like, oh, okay, this is heartwarming for a bit, and then it's like, wait, that's still a rat.
Well, spoilers. We'll put that up. It is. You feel so bad for Willard when Socrates gets killed. Like it's sad. Like because it's a fucking rat. I mean, you see him and you want to fucking kill him. we have traps to kill them. Yeah. All he has left is his mother. He has no family, and he finally finds a family in the form of
thousands of rats.
Yeah.
Thousands of rats.
A lot of rats.
For a gross movie, like, I'm not gonna eat food when I'm watching this movie for sure. But it is fun if you buckle up and are ready for some rats.
Yeah. I think I've gotten to the point where rats doesn't even sound like a word anymore.
We've said rats.
Said rats too many times.
A weird amount of times.
There's a word for that. Or you a word said so many times that it loses meaning, like it doesn't make sense anymore. What is the story? What is the quick summary of Pied Piper? I don't know anything. I don't know.
Pied Piper, is that the plague? He's like, he like plays the flute to like lead the rats out.
Yeah, is that right?
I don't know. I could just.
So the rats weren't his friends. They were just.
It could have been his friends. I have no idea. I'm just kind of grasping at straws here.
I feel like I have to bring up Pied Piper.
Yeah. Do you want to give it a quick Google and put it in there?
That's all right.
I don't need it that much.
That's all we need. That's it.
What is that on your head?
It's soap.
It's cooking oil! Oh, Willard, you're too old for that.
I didn't know people use vegetable oil for that.
Yeah, Vaseline. There's a lot of weird stuff that I would never put on my dick, but...
People are weird, man.
When I was in 8th grade, I think I used conditioner once, and I was in pain for like... It was, stung. And I've never done that again. I didn't know. I was trying stuff out. I was a little horny kid.
To move it.
Oh, it's painful.
That sounds awful.
Yeah. Oh, the little dad joke there where he puts his hand on the mouse. It was a rat, but mouse. What's a joke that's almost there?
Yeah. It was close. It was so close for him. The amount of like anxiousness you feel for him in that like 5-minute sequence when his whole world gets shattered in about 5 minutes in the end of the movie. overall, if you know what you're in for, this would be a pretty solid watch. I would say for anybody who's a big horror fan, into gothic stuff, wacky movies.
Gothic, that's a good description of this.
Just get ready for it. Just be ready for the rats.
Rat. Rat. Rat.